Every year, millions of people decide to learn something new. Some want to learn coding. Some want to master a new language. Some dream of becoming designers, musicians, entrepreneurs. Or simply become better at what they already do. But have you ever noticed something strange? Two people can spend the same amount of time learning the exact same skill. Yet one becomes an expert, while the other barely improves. Why? Is it because some people are naturally more intelligent? Or are they simply using a better way to learn? The truth is, the fastest learners aren't always the smartest people in the room. They've simply discovered something that most people never do. A system that helps them learn faster, remember longer, and improve more efficiently. And today, you're going to discover that system. For years, we've been told the same story. Some people are naturally talented. Some are simply born smarter. And if learning feels difficult, maybe you're just not gifted enough. But what if that isn't true? What if talent isn't the biggest reason some people succeed? Research has shown that the human brain is far more adaptable than we once believed. Every time you practice a skill, your brain builds stronger neural connections. The more you practice correctly, the stronger those connections become. In other words, your brain changes based on how you learn, not because of how intelligent you were born. The difference between beginners and experts isn't usually talent. It's the learning system they follow. Imagine trying to learn how to ride a bicycle only by reading books, or learning to swim without ever stepping into the water. It sounds ridiculous. Yet, that's exactly how millions of people try to learn every single day. They watch tutorial after tutorial, read article after article, highlight page after page, believing that more information automatically leads to more knowledge. But it doesn't. Because learning is not the same as consuming. Watching someone solve a problem is completely different from solving it yourself. Reading about a skill is completely different from practicing that skill. Your brain doesn't grow stronger simply because you collected more information. It grows stronger when you struggle, when you make mistakes, when you search for answers, when you try again after failing. Neuroscientists call this active learning. Every time your brain is forced to retrieve information, solve a problem, or create something on its own, the neural connections responsible for that skill become stronger. That's why someone who spends 30 minutes building a project often learns more than someone who spends 3 hours watching tutorials. Knowledge becomes understanding only when it's used. So the next time you learn something new, stop asking yourself, how many videos have I watched? Instead ask, what have I actually created? Because information may fill your mind, but action transforms your brain. Have you ever finished reading an entire chapter, closed the book, and just a few minutes later, realized you could barely remember anything? It happens to almost everyone. And the reason is surprisingly simple. Your brain often mistakes familiarity for understanding. When you read the same page again, everything looks familiar. Your brain says, I know this. But familiarity is not memory. Real learning begins the moment you close your notes and try to remember without looking. That small moment of struggle, when you're searching your memory for the answer, isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that your brain is learning. Scientists call this active recall. Every time you force your brain to retrieve information from memory, the memory becomes stronger, much stronger, than simply reading it again. That's why the best learners don't spend all their time highlighting textbooks. They test themselves. They solve questions. They explain concepts without looking at their notes. Because every successful retrieval strengthens the pathway to that memory. So the next time you finish studying, don't ask, "How many pages did I read?" Ask yourself, "What can I remember?" Without opening the book. Because your memory doesn't grow while you're reading. It grows when you're recalling. Most people believe that practice makes perfect. But that's only half the truth. Because simply repeating something over and over again doesn't guarantee improvement. Think about someone who has driven a car for 20 years. Does that automatically make them a Formula One driver? Of course not. Because experience alone isn't enough. The same is true for learning. If you only practice what you're already good at, you'll stay exactly where you are. Real improvement begins the moment you step outside your comfort zone. The world's best musicians, athletes, programmers, and chess players don't spend most of their time doing easy things. They spend their time working on their weaknesses. One difficult problem, one mistake, one small improvement at a time. Scientists call this deliberate practice. It's not about practicing more. It's about practicing the right things. The things that challenge you. The things that make you uncomfortable. Because that's where your brain adapts the most. Content reference, oaicite, 0, index equals 0. So the next time you practice, don't ask, "What am I good at?" Ask yourself, "What am I avoiding?" Because it's difficult. Because your greatest improvement will always be hiding on the other side of discomfort. Imagine planting a seed and digging it up every few days just to check if it's growing. It sounds absurd. Yet, that's exactly how many people treat learning. They study for 10 hours, one weekend, then do nothing for the next 5 days. They wait for motivation. They wait for inspiration. They wait for the perfect moment to begin again. But your brain doesn't grow in sudden bursts. It grows one small improvement at a time. Just like muscles become stronger after repeated training, your brain becomes smarter through consistent effort. Even 20 minutes every single day can outperform 5 hours once a week. Because every study session builds on the one before it. Small improvements become bigger improvements. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. And before you realize it, you've become someone who can do things that once felt impossible. This is called the compound effect. Success isn't created by one extraordinary day. It's created by hundreds of ordinary days. So don't ask yourself, "How much can I do today?" Instead ask, "What can I do every single day?" Because consistency will always beat intensity. And in the end, the people who learn the fastest aren't the ones who start the strongest. They're the ones who simply refuse to stop. So, what does it really mean to learn faster? It isn't about being born smarter. It isn't about watching more videos. And it certainly isn't about finding shortcuts. Learning faster means understanding how your brain actually learns. Practice with purpose. Recall instead of rereading. Challenge yourself. Stay consistent. Because every expert was once a beginner who simply refused to give up. The science of learning faster isn't about learning more. It's about learning better. And maybe the smartest student isn't the one with the highest IQ. It's the one who never stops learning.